Okay, so we're going to try something different today. We've already introduced the air from the top, which goes down there, as we know, and it travels under in between this ceramic glass through the burn chamber. But I thought we'd try and enter the air somewhere different. So we'll actually try and enter the air through the bottom. So I've got this old piece of ceramic glass, and I've put a couple of spaces underneath, and we'll see if we can get the air to travel underneath. Now, obviously, as the fire gets hot, the ashes will be sitting there, and that is going to preheat the air to a good temperature. So I've left the gap there. I've put the front glass in now. It drops down. It doesn't drop down as far as it normally would because this is just an experiment, of course. And we'll see how it works. So I've put a few sticks into place, and I've got a couple of little fire lighters I've rested up there. That's the normal way of lighting it. The fact you can take the front glass out of this particular system makes it so easy to light. It really does. So here they are. They're just little basic chemical blocks. They're not the best things to use, but they certainly work very well. So normally I just light them, and you've got to give it a bit of a blow just to get the air to go travelling down the chamber. So we just put those on fire, give it a burn. Oh dear, it's gone out, but we quickly relight that, a bit more of a gentle blow. Yeah, and it's drafting, it starts drafting straight away. We just add a few more bits of wood while we've got the front glass open. It just makes it so easy to stack them. And the fire's, it's off as usual. This is the beauty of having a completely insulated system. It just really bursts into life so quickly. The chimney's only, it's only about 3 metres in total height. But yeah, it just works so well. So we'll drop the front glass back in. And we'll let that catch, and we'll add a little bit more wood in a minute. We'll add some hardwood near the back edge. Yeah, I can see, I think this gap is probably about 12 millimetre, I guess. I just don't know if it's going to work. It's just another experiment. I mean, this might be a bit boring for some of you guys, but this is just what I do. So I'm just recording it. So basically the fire's off. I mean, it's been lit for, a couple of minutes, but it's burst into life. We've got the vortex showing. It's quite interesting to look down this little slot here. You can see how the flames are pouring into the burn tunnel. And the top is completely open, so we're not really getting any air in from anywhere else. It's just going down, working in as any J tube would work. So I've added some hardwood. There's some hardwood in the back. I mean, it's still been running, I don't know, for 4 or 5 minutes, I guess. But with all this, the vermiculite, it just comes up to temperature really quick. So we've got about 250 degrees centigrade around the top of the barrel, around the top edge of the barrel. On the actual top of the barrel, it's not so easy to measure through the ceramic glass. It tends to give a lot of false readings, and obviously takes a lot longer to actually reach temperature because the metal is about 12 millimetre thick, and the glass, I say, doesn't really give true readings. But anyhow, yeah, so the fire's going. We're off and running. And I think we'll have to wait a little bit of time to see if the bottom air is going to work or have any effect. But it's spinning really nicely. I mean, we've got a nice show there. But, I'm really happy with how the vortex design works. And in fact, I'm very happy with the whole stove. It's really great. So look, we're up to 330 odd degrees centigrade now. And on the top, we're around, it's varying. It's around the 230, whatever. And it builds up, it goes up to about 400. I mean, that's about the maximum temperature, but doing these experiments, we might have some strange things. This is an interesting phenomenon because there's so much air going in the two spaces and it's not drawing down the 6-inch square. It's actually, the flames are coming a little bit high up in the firebox there. It's interesting to see how that happens. And also it's over-fueling. I suppose it's just got too much air going in at the moment. So what we'll do is we're trying another experiment. We'll put a little gap down the bottom here and see what happens. This is completely unconventional, but this is the sort of thing we do. It's just for the fun of it. We'll see what happens. And what does happen is that we get over-fueling and the flames are really reaching up to the top of the riser. I've put a bit of glass on the top, so the only way the air is getting in was through that, to the top gap and the bottom gap. But now I'll take this glass off and we'll see what effect that has. So now let's have a look. Yeah, I mean that's a super hot. That really is. It's running well and it's very, very, very hot. So yeah, I mean that looks fantastic to me. I'm holding my phone there, but it's just ridiculously hot in that actual position. Yeah, so with the glass in place, that top glass, and leaving these the two air gaps, it's sort of working in a different fashion. So by using this method, it's sort of operating as a gasifier because we've got very restricted air going into the actual firebox. We've only got the air entering at the bottom and at the top here. And what that's done is it's slowed the fire right down, and it's kept the vortex right at the bottom. But we've also got a considerable drop in temperature. So it was got to 400 earlier on, which is about as hot as it got today. And we're now down to 277. And on top, we're down to 230 something. Okay, so I mean, I say I can't really measure with this glass. It never really works very well. But anyhow, you can sort of get the idea that we have had a drop in temperature by restricting the air. It's not surprising, it's exactly what I expected. But I must say, it does actually look rather nice. I wonder if we can get the firebox and the vortex in view, and you can see that's quite a good effect. I quite like that. Anyway, it's getting dark. Let's get ready for Halloween.